All right, hey there everyone, Joshua Shore with you in our WNDU newsroom here on this Monday afternoon, 2:55 Eastern Time, wherever you're watching us right now in South Bend. We wanted to do this update really quickly. We know some of you had some questions about the next round of snow that we're getting today. It's actually on the doorstep. Parts of our area already seeing snow. We've seen that, and we're hearing some things on the scanner as well, indicative that there is snow right here on the doorstep in our area. Without further ado, I want to bring in my friend Andrew Whitmyer. Meteorologist Andrew Whitmyer has been on this story along with the First Alert Weather Team. It seems like for the last 14 days they've been talking about this day and, of course, what we saw yesterday. I want to bring him in now. First, talk about what we saw yesterday, and obviously we got lake effect snow that's already here in some parts of our area, right?
Yeah, it's already on our doorstep right now, Josh, this next wave of lake effect snow. We picked up 13 inches of snowfall from Saturday night through this morning right here in South Bend. Some places a little more, some places a little bit less. That's lake effect snow. If you have a snowfall report from this weekend and this morning, please comment below if you're watching us on Facebook on the WNDU Facebook page. Hey, I want to take a live look outside right now. The snow has now re-entered a portion of Michiana. In fact, right now we're looking at some reduction in the visibility and the snowflakes flying again right over South Bend, Mishawaka. In fact, State Road 933 just outside of our WNDU studios, just north of downtown South Bend. You can kind of see that little static there. That's some snowflakes that have returned to Michiana as this lake effect snow band continues to work its way eastward. What happened last night? This lake effect snow band was over us, moved its way over towards Chicago early this morning, and now it's wobbling itself back towards Michiana as this wind direction starts to switch to the north and west. And widening this out here just a little bit just to show you how far north this goes. This goes all the way north across the upper portion of Lake Michigan. So we've got several hours to go of dealing with this lake effect snow system as it will continue to impact a portion of Michiana for the remainder of our Monday. So the moral of the story is for our evening commute, take it slow. Road conditions will continue to go downhill, and at times underneath the heaviest portion of this lake effect snow band, snowfall rates could reach 1 inch per hour. And typically when you start getting 1 inch per hour, that's where visibility becomes almost like a whiteout, where visibility goes well under a mile. So your patience and attention will be needed if out on the roads this evening, as these road conditions will go downhill. And the snow that was on the main roads, a lot of that melted for today, but any road that is wet will quickly refreeze overnight. Black ice and snow will be an issue for our morning commute hours for our Tuesday. The good news, after tomorrow morning, we're done with road impacts weather-wise for the foreseeable future for the remainder of this week. But our morning commute hours for tomorrow do plan on snow and ice on many roads, especially the roadways that are untreated. All right, now let's get you into feeder check so you can actually see physically how this lake effect snow band shapes up for the remainder of this Monday's First Alert Weather Day. We'll see it continuing to move its way eastward into a portion of Michiana, and we'll continue with this snow band continuing to work its way eastward. Places like South Bend, Goshen, Elkhart, up towards a portion of Cassopolis, Dowagiac, Berrien Springs. I think we're going to get the brunt of this next round of snow, where we could be looking at some snowfall totals in addition 3 to 6 inches. The good news for our early morning commute Tuesday, we moved the lake effect snow out of here, and just a fast moving system for tomorrow may bring with it a snowflake or two, a few snow flurries for Tuesday afternoon, but no road impacts for the second half of tomorrow. Check out how much additional snow we are expecting in First Alert weather. I'll move out of the way here so you can kind of see this. This lighter blue, 1 to 3 inches, and this darker blue, 3 to 6 inches between South Bend, Elkhart, Cass, Dowagiac, up towards Berrien Springs. I think this is our next round to see accumulating snow of around 3 to 6 inches. And again, the bulk of this snow falls between now and about midnight. And then the lake effect snow machine finally winds on down after midnight, and we finally shut off the snow chances for the next 10 to 14 days, Josh.
So I got to ask you, because you know it's a big deal when Today's Show is using your cameras in their coverage of the snow events happening in the Midwest, which they did this morning. And so with that, I think a lot of people want to know, obviously, this snow is basically here. So prepare and plan. You're seeing it right now, that video, and I'm going to make it bigger for you. This is right outside our station right now, right, Andrew? It's coming here. It's already here.
Yeah, this is just north of downtown South Bend, State Road 933. I'm going to toggle on the visibility here.
Okay.
You can see the visibility in South Bend over towards LaPorte right now, dropping below a mile. So again, if you're out on the roads, visibility is going to be a big concern tonight. Once again, underneath of that lake effect snow band, as well as snow covered and slick road conditions. Those will continue to go downhill over the next 2 and 3 hours.
That's good to know. I'm looking at this visibility map as you talk about it. That was my next question here. It's already coming down now. It's going to get worse. This is on and off, though, it sounds like, starting from 4 o'clock all the way through midnight. Do I have that correct?
You have that correct. You can kind of, I'm using a radar here right now, and you
Okay.
can see these blues. This is where the snow is currently falling, but notice just north of South Bend, between South Bend and Stevensville, there's a lull right now up around Three Oaks where it's not really snowing. So this is going to come in waves where for maybe a 10 to 20 minute window, it's going to look like it's snowing really hard, kind of the twilight zone, if you will. And then you may get a 10 to 20 minute break where it's just flurries, and then it's back again to looking at another heavy burst of snow. That's going to be the theme for the rest of this Monday. And again, this should taper off shortly after midnight with everyone going snow free for the Tuesday morning commute. But I do want to stress, though, Josh, that the Tuesday morning commute, we are going to first alert that the roads are going to be snowy and slick out there. Black ice will once again be a big concern for our Tuesday morning commute.
I know we were talking about this for the last couple of weeks, and a lot of folks, including yourself, said, look, this is going to be an impactful event. And it became that. And I think it's important to stress that just because the ground is warm doesn't mean there are not going to be impacts. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you're correct. You know, we were starting to see this starting to progress throughout last week. Wednesday, Thursday, we were mentioning that, hey, we would get snowfall accumulation. And then as we were starting to get a better handle on the system, we kept raising our snowfall totals, putting South Bend right in a bullseye of 6 to 10 inches of snow. And we've pretty much saw even over that. 13 inches is what we have measured officially in South Bend, with more snow amounts to come for tonight. Again, we're looking at about 3 to 6 inches of snow additionally. So we're likely going to be looking at over 1.5 feet of snow by the time this is all said and done, if you take the measurements from Saturday night all the way through tonight.
So you've got Andrew Whitmyer there in the First Alert Weather Center, along with me, Joshua Short, in our newsroom. It is 3:02 Eastern Time. We've got about triple the amount of people watching now, about 150 people watching on Facebook Live. So just to reiterate, you had a graphic you showed moments ago, some of the top headlines, some of the things that people need to know as they're about to leave work, or maybe working that third shift, or maybe have to pick up the kids, or maybe have to go to a game. What do they need to know right now, and how long is this going to be, really quickly before we wrap?
All right, so let's recap. We've got a lake effect snow band moving back into Michiana. It won't be as heavy as last night, but it's still going to pack a punch if you're underneath of that lake effect snow band as far as travel conditions going downhill. So for the remainder of today, underneath of that lake effect snow band, we will continue to see the road conditions going downhill, and at times underneath the heaviest portion of that band, it'll look like a whiteout at times, where the visibility will drop very, very low, potentially around or below a half a mile. Biggest concern will be anything that is wet. We had some sunshine for today that helped to melt a lot of the snow that was on those main roads and some of those side streets earlier. Anything that is still wet and untreated, that will refreeze overnight. So black ice once again will be a big concern for our Tuesday morning commute into work and school. The good news, the lake effect snow machine shuts off shortly after midnight. I am not anticipating any fresh snow falling for the Tuesday morning commute, but those roads will be slick and snowy in spots, so your patience and attention will be needed this evening all the way through daybreak Tuesday.
Online, a lot of people may not know this, we are able to see, and it's open to the public as well, these things called plow cameras. Snow plow cameras that NDOT puts up. And so one of the things they just posted about the last 30 minutes or so were these cameras in Lake County, LaPorte County, Pulaski County even, and Porter County as well. And you can see those whiteout conditions, which is what we're about to experience in South Bend right now. So what they saw, it seems like, is what we're about to see, if not more, right?
Yeah, in fact, and again, this is on Facebook right now, WNDU.com, shortly after 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The heaviest burst of the snow right now down around North Junction, Knox, Michigan City, and LaPorte, as well as up into St. Joe, Stevensville, Berrien Springs. So what is happening here potentially could begin to work its way down towards South Bend. So even though we're just looking at a few bursts of snow right now, South Bend, Granger, over towards Mishawaka, we could be looking at some of these darker blues. That's where you get the visibility under a half a mile. That could sneak on in here over the next hour. So we're going to be using First Alert Weather Radar a lot tonight on 16 News Now 4, 5, and 6. And Josh, you mentioned those DOT plow cameras. We're going to be updating them in first alert weather so that way you know what to plan for this Monday evening as our next round of lake effect snow impacts Michiana.
Here we go. You got a lot to work on. I don't envy you in that regard, but I'll tell you, you and your team have been nailing it for the last week and a half about not just the impacts, but also the timing, and I think the totals as well. That is something that I want to brag on just for a second. With that, no questions on Facebook Live. We're going to be on the air soon. Andrew, thank you for that. And again, we will be both joining you at 4 o'clock Eastern time on WNDU Channel 16 with the very latest on both that radar that you see Andrew near right now, along with outside reporting as well. We've got reports that are going to be live outside in South Bend and throughout our area. Wherever that snow is falling, we'll bring it to you. Andrew, we appreciate you. Thank you. Facebook Live, thank you as well. We will see you in just under an hour at 4 o'clock.